Thanks for tuning in to the Charles Novell School of Music podcast, The Best Day Yet. Here you'll find tips, insight, and information to help your music and your ministry succeed. Whether you're a singer, a musician, or a songwriter, we want to help you where you are, but we also want to help you get to where you want to go. We believe that our talents are God's gift to us, but what we do with those are our gift back to God. Yesterday's information is important, but what we can learn today will make this the best day yet. Hey there, and welcome back to the CNS podcast, The Best Day Yet. And listen, when I say welcome back, I mean welcome back. It has been a minute since we have done a podcast, and several people have reached out and said, are you still there? Yes. We're still here. I'll give a little explanation. Crazy busy year getting prepared for CNS25, which took place June 22nd through the 28th at Bethel University. Had an amazing week. That is our topic today. We will talk about CNS25 and have a really a major recap on CNS25 in today's episode. But let me explain. At CNS24, which was, I believe, July 16th through the 22nd of 2024, we celebrated our 50th anniversary at Murray State University in Murray, Kentucky. And so many memories, so many milestones, so many big things happened in 5 decades that we spent holding music schools on the campus of Murray State University. However, as it says in the Bible, all good things must come to an end. And so we had to move campuses just for the betterment of our students. And we spent quite a bit of time in the fall, in the end of last summer, looking for new facilities, touring new campuses. My wife, Jen, and I, we looked at 17 different schools, physically, boots on the ground, took tours of 9 of those campuses, just really in search for the perfect place for us to continue the heritage, continue the history, and move forward into the future of the Charles Novell School of Music. And God led us to Bethel University in McKenzie, Tennessee. Again, we're going to talk about that today, and just how incredible of a week that we had. So, if you follow the podcast, you know we probably even announced that in episodes. We went through the fall. We pretty much went through the end of the year, and then we have been off for the first half of this year. And moving forward and planning and getting things ready, there were a lot of just kind of extra steps along the way, extra I's, extra T's on the administrative end that had to be done in our move from Murray State University to Bethel University. And in doing so, time became just a necessity, and we had to kind of prioritize. And unfortunately, the Best Day Yet podcast is what ended up on the, let's see, what's the word? The expendable list, as far as not applying our time into this as much as we needed to apply it into other things. We had, between CNS24 and CNS25, we really had about a month less on our normal year of advertising, promoting, branding, and pushing the school. We went from towards the end of July to the end of June in the next year. So just got us a little bit behind, but listen, we are back. CNS25, our theme was new season. And we are literally just in a new season of the Charles Novell School of Music podcast, The Best Day Yet. These podcasts are going to get bester each Tuesday as we release a new episode. It won't only be the best day yet, but it'll be the bester Best day yet. Yes, that's going to be a new word, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, let's talk about how amazing CNS25 was. And to start, let's start with where God led us, and that is to Bethel University. Y'all, Bethel means house of God, and there was just we visited Jen, myself, and my mom. We visited in August of 24, and there was just such a peace when we were on the campus and walking and going through things. And then I took a senior number of my staff, actually a board that I have with CNS, and we went back Mother's Day weekend, the Friday of Mother's Day weekend, to do a second tour, and they felt and confirmed the same thing. There was just such a peace about the space there, the layout of the campus. It was it was going to be very intimate and close, where we were used in Murray to literally having to drive across campus through numerous traffic lights and busy city streets, to where the campus was just laid out where we literally could walk throughout our day if we chose to do so. Now, I enjoy walking, so I pretty much walked Friday. I did drive my car. Couple reasons. Number one, I was really tired by Friday morning, but throughout the course of the day, I had to do some things as we were approaching the end of the week to have my car strategically placed so I could literally go ahead and do some tear down and load into my vehicle. So, but for the most part, I personally walked. I know a lot of people did that, but it was laid out where our students could drive as well. Bethel went over the top in being accommodating to us. One of the reasons we chose them was the auditorium that we used this year was called Odom Auditorium, and their I think it's their mathematic building. Odom is the name of Odom Hall. So we used the that auditorium, Odom Hall, there in the Odom building, and when we were standing in there on our tour in August, it was mentioned to us that they knew who we were, what we did, and they wanted us on their campus. And man, I just had a feeling of favor. In our circles, we call that fog. You know what? The favor of God, fog. And so it was just very, very welcoming. It made, when we did make a decision of where to go, it made choosing Bethel very easy for us to do. So as we got onto the campus early on Friday, let's see, the 20th maybe, leading into our students coming in on, some came Saturday, the majority came on Sunday. And when we got there, started our setting up, we did run into a few situations, and man, again, Bethel was just super accommodating and helping us find a solution for those, and providing us even extra space than we had initially looked at. So the facilities were just great. They were set up perfectly for us to do what we wanted to do. There's always some scary things when you go into a new stop like this. Over the years, this was my 55th school. I know I sound so much younger than that, and thank you for that. But it was my 55th, and it would have been my dad's 60. Let's see, let me do the math real quick. It would have been his 63rd year of involvement, teaching, and then running, and then eventually owning the school. And so in all those years, we have been at multiple locations. Even though we spent 50 years at Murray, we were there, and then we were gone for a season, and then we returned. And so this was actually, I believe, our 8th stop. Bethel University was our 8th stop in those 63 years. So there's always a little nervous when you go in. You don't know what food's going to be like. Y'all, food's a little important when you when you have over 100 people and staff. When you're 140, 150 strong on campus for a week, food is important. Lodging is important. The big thing, air condition, y'all. I know it's 2025 and you're going, he's saying air. Yeah. Listen, we could dedicate numerous episodes of the podcast to issues that we've had through the year. But again, man, just really, we had a few isolated things that once again, Bethel very quickly, very generously, and very excellently helped us take care of in a quick manner. And facilities were great. Food was really good. The housing was perfect. The unique setting with their rooms, they use suite style rooms where literally for their college year, they can put 8 students in a room. There's a large commons area when you go in, and then there are 4 rooms within that have 2 bunk beds in each room. There's the math. That's how Bethel gets to 8. We did not do that. We put 1 person in a room. We did have a couple situations with families where they could literally all stay in a suite together. There are 2 full bathrooms inside of the suite. So the commons area was great. Gave me a place each night to do things that I need to do to close the day out and to kind of get prepared for the next day. So just super accommodating on the housing side of things. So, man, that's kind of a 35,000 foot view of facilities and how things went there. It was so neat. Last little thing, we had 4 auditoriums set up for CNS25 in the student building on Bethel University. It's known as Vera Low Building. That's their student building. The cafeteria is in that building. So each morning we started with breakfast at 7 a.m. And when breakfast was over at 8 a.m., we literally walked 2 minutes down the hallway into a room that they call the boardroom. And we, CNS product table, the Blackwood Brothers SGMA, James Rainey, our staff that had booths were set up in that space all week. And we just came from breakfast into this room for our morning devotions. And then we would also in the afternoon at 12, we had lunch every day. And after lunch at 1 o'clock, we had a class this year called Midday Meetup. And we literally, once again, we walked 2 minutes down the hall from the cafeteria back into the boardroom for this Midday Meetup. It made it super convenient, and we didn't feel rushed. In the past, we've had to leave the cafeteria 15, 20 minutes early to get in a car, drive across campus, park, walk into the building, get up the elevators and into rooms. So it was, man, it took that hustle bustle away, and it created just a more relaxed atmosphere for it. So let's look at a general day. We started each day with devotions at 8 o'clock, and boy, did God ever more speak to us. I mentioned this briefly a while ago, we had about 40 students check in early on the Saturday night. We have allowed that in the past, but previous places weren't as willing and accommodating for us to bring in larger numbers. But this year, we had to internally set a deadline, but we opened it up for whoever did want to come in that night early. So we had such a turnout that said, hey, we're coming in Saturday night, we're coming in early, that we had a church service on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. And honestly, I really believe that's what set the tone for the entire week. We took our first fruits, literally, and offered them back up to the Lord. It's Sunday morning. It's time to go to church, right? So Pastor John Gross from Inverness, Florida. He pastors Victory Baptist in Inverness, Florida. He's been on our staff now since 2019, and just an amazing friend, an amazing addition to our staff, but an amazing giver and presenter of God's word. He just has a unique way in his delivery when he preaches, and he led us right out of the chute on Sunday morning, our theme again being new season. into the fact that, we start there or we start here where we are, and God is trying to get us to there. And he broke down a story so well to show us how in the natural, in the flesh, we can be willing to stop right in the middle. And we miss out on the blessing that God has waiting for us because we grow complacent, we grow tired for various reasons. We decide to stop in the middle and not keep pressing on and not push towards those promises that God has waiting for us. So again, we had about 40 students there. We had some praise and worship that morning and went into the Word. And then when we finished that, when we finished that on Sunday, we opened our registration up. We checked the rest of our students in. We had a very, very special bonus. It wasn't on the schedule. It literally happened the Tuesday before CNS. I left on Thursday, and 2 days before, I got a phone call, and the Kingsmen were coming through, and they asked if they could stop off and share with our students to kick us off for CNS25 new season. And so absolutely, you don't get a phone call from the Kingsmen and tell them, no, you can't attend. So we had them stop by, and there was a special bonus in their visit and them being with us. We had a student with us this year, his third year, from Arkansas. His name is Landon Ferris, and Landon is an amazing young man. He is 16 years old. He's a very, very gifted pianist. He's a gifted vocalist and just a great guy, an amazing human. I absolutely love the Ferris family. And when I get excited every year when they register and I know they're coming because they're who we want at CNS. They're people that are gifted and talented, yes, but their heart, their drive, their passion is to serve the Lord with their gifts. So they're attending CNS to perfect what God has given them so they can be better as they give back unto the Lord. So the Kingsmen, and I think as I publish this podcast, I think the door is finally closed. I do believe the Kingsmen have hired a new tenor, but they have been in between tenors. And Landon has been on a couple occasions in May at the I'm drawing a blank on the name of the event. It was in Texas, Battle of the Songs. That's it. Landon had the opportunity to sit in and play piano for the Kingsmen. And then the Saturday night prior to, or a week prior to CNS25, the Memphis Quartet show was taking place in Memphis. And Landon, once again, sat in and played piano for the Kingsmen at the Memphis Quartet show. But I get a call from Landon and his mom, and we had set some things up for them to come in early on that Saturday, and Landon was going to help me with some things. And they called and told us that was getting affected a little bit because Landon, the Kingsmen had asked Landon to go out that weekend and sing tenor for them. So when the Kingsmen showed up to kick off CNS 25, one of our very own students, Landon Ferris, was singing tenor with them. So it was such a cool thing and honestly a very, very proud moment for me. Landon's unique because I see where I was at 16 with the dreams, the hopes, what I wanted to be doing with my talents for the Lord in the field of gospel music, specifically Southern gospel music. I see Landon in that same place. So it's really neat for me to sit there as now the director of the school and realize this school was instrumental in everything that God needed me to do and had mapped out for me. It took the school to prepare me and to assist and help opening doors for me to walk out what God had planned for my life. So kind of now full circle, running the school, being the director of the school, to see our students shine in those moments. It's honestly, I ain't gonna lie, it makes me really, really proud, happy, excited. So Landon's up there doing his thing with the Kingsmen. And then here's the coolest part about Landon. Monday morning, Landon. Sunday night, Landon's on stage singing with the Kingsmen. Monday morning, Landon is sitting in the seat beside those same students because he was there ready to learn, ready to get what God had waiting for him at CNS25. So really cool kickoff this year to CNS. And then after that, we did our orientation, and I was able to introduce our staff. And what an amazing staff that God has and team that God has placed around me and Jen. This school is, this is 365, 24/7. So this is, as I record this, it is July the 5th. We got home, let's see. We got home a week ago this evening, a week ago last Saturday. And literally, we've not stopped. We've had to close the books out for CNS25. I got the invoice and bill from the university, and we have to pay that, and we have to get checks written, all of that. So we're closing that. But this entire week, we've already been moving forward to CNS26. Our dates are set. We have a theme for next year. Our CNS25 family, they know. I've told them it's not public yet, so I'm not going to mention it in today's podcast, but that information is coming soon. We will open registration August the 1st for CNS26. So be looking for that information. But man, our team, our staff that God's brought around us, we are so thankful. Jen and I are in prayer about everything that we do for this school, and the core staff that he's given us. Man, I know these people are there as well to come along beside us throughout the course of the year, help us make decisions, but more importantly, help us pray about decisions and directions that we want the school to go, so we can continue to offer as much as we can for anyone that wants to attend. So let's talk about our special guests we had in this year. We had Pat Barker. Pat Barker is the bass singer for the Guardians Quartet. What a great singer, but what an amazing person. And Pat did a couple things for us that day. He said in our performance training classes, those are where the students get up and do what it is that they do, whether they sing or they play or they sing and play. And then our staff and our guests for the day critique their performance, just give them helpful tips on the staging, the performance side of things that can make what they do more effective on the ministry side. Because at CNS, we believe that a polished ministry is an effective ministry. We want to get away and do away with that stereotypical, don't listen to how I sing, just listen to the words of the song. We don't get up and make excuses when we have the opportunity to get up in front of the Lord and do what he's gifted us to do. So this class helps us with that. So Pat was able to sit in there with us on those. He did a special class for our bass singers that were in attendance. He was able to do some one-on-one session privately with some of our bass students that were there. And it was just a real honor, real treat to have Pat with us. He was there on Monday. And then Tuesday, our special guests were Sean and Tanessa Barber. Sean is the newest member of the absolutely... So I'm a quartet guy. I traveled in a quartet. I love mixed groups, family groups. If any of you are listening, do not get mad at me, but Rob is a quartet guy, and my favorite quartet is Triumphant Quartet, and Sean is the newest member of that amazing group of guys, and he brought his wife with him. I had not met her, and honestly, I did not know Sean that well. I go way back with the guys in Triumphant, and knew that when they hired this guy, they got a great hire. He's a great vocalist. He's an amazing pianist and songwriting. I specifically brought him in to speak to our songwriting students. Songwriting is a big part of what we do at CNS. On Monday, Allison Spear taught our songwriting classes. Tuesday, Sean and Tanessa Barber. Wednesday was none other than the Kenna Turner. Thursday and Friday, Dave Clark was with us 2 days for CNS. Dave is an alum of this school and is a member, I'll just say it, of the Novell family. We go way back. I remember being a youngster and learned from Dave some things I can talk about on here publicly, other things I cannot, that he taught me because y'all, it's under the blood. Dave liked to have fun. Rob liked to have fun. So God brought us together in the fun department. Let's just say we'll keep it, for those who may be wondering, just there were antics that may have involved water, shaving cream, occasional firecracker. So anyway, we won't talk about that. But Dave was with us 2 days. And then also Billy Blackwood helped us with songwriting this year. So songwriting, a big part of what we do at CNS. So Wednesday again, Kenna came in, and wow, she in her own right, she's a great vocalist. She's a recording artist, multi-Dove award-winning songwriter, 5-time Songwriter of the Year award winner. Kenna has a gift in songwriting, and what a blessing, what an honor it was for her to come in, spend some time visiting and talking with our students. Another had him listed as a special guest, but he's just become part of our core staff, and that's Joseph Reed. Joseph has over 25 years experience in radio and broadcasting and Christian music. He served as the tour publicist, volunteer coordinator, and product manager for the iconic Carmen, the CCM legend Carmen, and currently Joseph serves as the director of affiliate relationships and program director for Singing News Radio. He's involved with Singing News TV. What an amazing guy. What an amazing talent. He helped us with so many things through the course of the week. Those special guests that were in sat in those performance training classes. And on those days that they were there, they were able to speak in to the lives, to the music, and to the ministry of each of our students. Back to our staff, guys, God has assembled an amazing team. This year at CNS 25, we had Allison Spear. What a gift Allison is. Her husband, Brian, this was his second year being on staff with us. I remember growing up in this school when the Blackwood Brothers, the Stamps Quartet, and the Spear family were kind of the focal point of the school. I remember as a kid looking up to Brian and wanting to, he was a big reason that I wanted to be involved as a musician in gospel music. And so what an honor to have Brian and Allison with us. Corey Eisel, she is so instrumental in helping us with everything that is event coordinated related. She helps us with scheduling, and she works so hard all year, and we can't do what we do without Corey. Becky and Steve Carver were with us. They are longtime staff members and former students. Corey is a former student as well. James Rainey, the amazing pianist that he is. This was his 3rd or 4th year teaching piano for us at CNS. It was an honor to have James with us. Jim Sheldon, the Positive Cowboy. This guy is, again, another alum of the school, doing great in the Christian country circles, and was a little late getting to us because he was at a number one party for the number one song for, I believe, the month of May or June. So he was a little late getting to us. He helps us in so many different ways during the week. Jim Quayles, an amazing friend. We go way back. I've been able to produce multiple projects for him in various groups, and now as a solo artist. Jim helps us with guitar and sound and so much. He's so vital to what we do. Pastor John, I mentioned him kicking us off on the Sunday morning, helps us so much with our devotions and leading us into the presence of the Lord. We start each day with devotions at 8:00 each day. It's about priorities. So John helps us tremendously there. Shannon Smith. Shannon, this was his 2nd year with us on the staff, over 25 years of performing experience. He's been with groups like Three Bridges, the Imperials. Now he's involved in a solo ministry. Just an amazing guy, and just brings so much, to the table for our students. Marianne Oglesby Southerly, MA. Where do I start here? We love Marianne. Let's start with this. Happy birthday, Marianne. I believe today is her birthday, so we'll just go with that. Great vocal coach, great asset to CNS. Roy Webb, y'all. Roy has played with, I've known Roy and I are both we grew up in Southern Ohio. We actually played in a group together. We've done a ton of recording sessions together over the years. Roy played for Ernie Haas and Signature Sound, Gold City. Has been out with Jonathan Wilburn. Currently, he is Mark Lowry's pianist. And so Roy is just a gifted instrumentalist, and it's such an honor to have him on our staff. Dana Simpson, another crazy gifted pianist. CNS, a big focal point of CNS is the piano. If you look at our logo, the C in CNS is a piano. Why? Because my dad was an extremely gifted pianist. I play, I love it. It's part of my life, part of what I do. I teach it at CNS. So Dana fits our staff perfectly. Such a gift, such a great person. We had a new class this year in our theory hour. I say new, and we went back, but it was new to our schedule, new to our curriculum. Our theory hour was unique this year. We had 4 classes that students would choose from at the 10 o'clock hour for theory. There was Music Theory 1, there was Music Theory 2. We offered a shape note class, which Dana taught, and then we offered Nashville numbers, which I taught. And so the numbers and the shape notes were new this year. Both of those were a success and went really, really well. We will do that same line of classes on our schedule next year at CNS25. Tara Jackson was back with us, I believe, for her 11th year. Tara's a gifted vocalist. She's a worship pastor in North Carolina. We have a worship course every year at CNS, and her and Billy Blackwood head that up. And failed to mention Billy earlier as a special guest. I'll talk about Billy here after I finish with Tara. But Tara and Billy head up our worship program, and that class goes on all week for those that are there that want to learn better how to run a worship program, maybe back at their home church. And then the school ends every year with a night of worship on Friday night. Great night of worship this year. Again, I mentioned Billy. Billy's a big part of this school, y'all. I say this all the time, but it's true. I've not known life without a Billy Blackwood in it. Billy Blackwood speaks into me and has over my life personally, spiritually, musically, sits on a board with me. I've got spiritual advisors around me and Jen to help us on a yearly basis throughout the course of the year, not just during our week in the summer, but what an asset Billy is. A great vocalist. He's currently running and continuing the legacy of the Blackwood brothers. It's under Billy's command and lead and direction right now, and it's in great hands under Billy. Billy's a great singer, musician, great guitar player, amazing drummer, and a songwriter. So Billy helps us with so much. Tim Owens was back with us. Tim and I go way back as well. Back to the early 90s, my time in Perfect Heart. Tim would ride the bus with us, and we developed a friendship then. He has sang with numerous groups over the years. He spent some time in the Inspirations. He's currently in the Old Time Preachers Quartet. He's pastoring in Rossville, Georgia. Tim helps us vocally, but also as a pastor, he helps us with devotions and ministerial things during the week. Gary Shepard, y'all, we talked about the Kingsmen a while ago. What a legacy, what talent has went through that group. And Gary, best known for his years and his time in the Kingsmen Quartet, Squeaky, right? That's the guy. Gary is an alum of this school as well and teaches songwriting and voice for us. Mentioned Becky and Steve Carver. They've got a ministry that they do, an evangelistic music ministry, and big part of our staff. First-time staff member this year was Buddy Bates. This is another alum of the school. Buddy's been a student, but he also studied privately with my dad for years. And Buddy has sang with a lot of groups as well. The Blackwood Brothers, the Dixie Melody Boys, the Dixie Echoes, and he actually even did a European tour with the Stamps Quartet. That's a really, really cool story. Buddy was there. Buddy helps us in a lot of ways, performance training, but private voice is a big thing that he helps us with and does for us. So just a great, again, staff that God has placed around me and Jen, and it just makes it easy for me. I can't be in all those rooms at one time, and our our staff has to do several things. Number one, I need to know that they are pointing our students to Jesus first and foremost. This is ministry for us. Then they have to be people I know that I can trust, that they're going to be in a room that I can't be in, and they're not going to say or do something that would jeopardize the reputation and the history, the heritage of the school. And then the third thing I expect out of them is to teach music. I tell them every year on Saturday night we have a staff meeting. I say, look, you got 3 jobs. Number 1, point them to Jesus. Number 2, encourage and motivate them. Number 3, teach them music. We're a school of music, but that's kind of on the bottom of the list of things that we're expecting. So many highlights. Let's talk about some students real quick. So many highlights from the week. First off, students that return. I love to see the growth that has taken place in their music and in their ministries. And you always get in trouble when you start mentioning names, but I'm just going to go with some that just kind of, I have this low-hanging fruit thing. I talked about it during CNS. So these are some low-hanging fruit. These are just some really special moments that stuck out for me in the department of returning students. Eli Gore, a young man from Mississippi, I believe this was his 3rd year with us. And to see him get up and perform and sing and minister this year, and to see the improvement from when we first met him. That's why we do what we do. I tell the students every year, all this information is useless unless they literally go home and apply it. So when you see a student come back and have grown and developed like that, Mary Beth May is another one. Great young lady, Mississippi again. Must be something in the water down there in Mississippi. But again, to see the improvement from her. Hannah Roberts from Ohio has been with us quite a while. And just to see, she started as a vocalist. She's now accompanying herself on the piano. She's accompanying herself on the guitar. These are instruments she could not play. We offer a beginning guitar class during CNS. We offer a beginning piano class. These classes run all 5 days. By the end of the week, we have you playing guitar, we have you playing piano, and basic hymns, but in a couple different keys. Even have got into some basic improvisation on those instruments. So she's taken what she's picked up at the school and then gone home throughout the course of the year and continue to study. She's one of we have a thing through CNS called creative coaching. That's where our students, anybody listening to this podcast, you can get private instruction year long, virtual lessons through a thing that we call creative coaching. If you've got any interest in that, you can reach us at info@cnsmusic.com. Be happy to reach out and talk to you about that. So those are some, I'm going to butcher the name. The Song Fellows, I believe, is the name of their trio. Ben McSween, John David Britnell, and Tony Anderson. Their 2nd year with us, and the improvement, when I heard them in an evening concert this year, it was phenomenal. The growth and the development this past year. So that makes it super exciting. That's why we do what we do. New students. Listen, we had a lot of new students at CNS25 new season, and that's exciting to me because as we continue to go and we continue to grow, we need to meet new people. And so many talented new students that we got to meet this year. First one that pops to mind, it's easy because they easily make an impression on you because there's like a whole choir of them. And I'm referring to the Kirshner family that came from Waco, Texas. There's 8 of them, mom and dad and 6 kids. And they actually took the stage on Sunday night. We needed to do their performance training sessions on Sunday night because with 8 of them, we have a unique setup. We needed 8 microphones. And so we set right out of the chute. We set up for that. We had them do performance training. But listen, not only did they perform, but more importantly, they ministered to our students and to our staff and helped set the tone there as well for the week. And what an amazing family. What a joy to be around these people, these young people, their parents for the entire week. We had 37 young people aged 23 and under at the school this year. that was super exciting. We did special events for them each evening. Wednesday night, we did a pizza and game night. We got access to the game room there in the student building on the campus. And I got to sit down at a table with the young kids from the Kirshner family and just visit with them and really get to know who they are, why they're here, what they want to do. And listen, the name Kirshner family, God's got big things in store for this family. And it was an honor to have them with us. And it's an honor to help push them to what God has waiting for them and to just help steer them in the correct direction. So that's one batch of new students that made an impression on me. So many more. Let's see. And again, this is where you open this kind of box and you start to get yourself in trouble. Another family that pops to mind, the Bowling family, I believe from Tennessee, and it was their first year with us, and it was a father and 3 daughters, and what a joy they were to be around. I messed with them. They had ukuleles with them at the school, and I saw ukuleles not in cases, and I'm like, listen, you're scaring me to death. We got to get cases for these instruments. And so I had fun picking with them on that. But just to see them come in and get as most out of the week as they could. And the reason that they did was they engaged and they put themselves into the week. A lot of times I see a lot of first-time students come and they're scared to death. They don't know what to expect or what to do. We do really well in CNS. Every year we have a private Facebook page that when students register, we put them in that page. And we build community all year. Registration will open August the 1st. We already have a new private Facebook page for CNS26 built. As students register, we put them in this page. They're building community. We're building community all year leading into our school the following summer. And so it helps a lot of these new students come in. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Listen, CNS25, great success. If you were with us for the first time, again, welcome to our family. If you have an interest, if you've never attended a CNS, I'm telling you, there is nothing like it. We would love to talk to you about being part of CNS 26. We are going to have several regional sessions this year. I know for a fact we are having one November 7th and the 8th in Cincinnati, Ohio. And then right after we click into 26, we've got one on the books for February 20th and 21st in Inverness, Florida. So Central Florida Regional is scheduled. We will be doing some online webinars. We're going to do one, I believe, in October dealing with social media and marketing and branding. We are thinking and trying to plan something in Arkansas and then maybe a final one in Nashville over this next year. So keep your ears open for that. Follow us on Facebook at the Charles Novell School of Music. Tune into these podcasts, The Best Day Yet. They come out new episodes every Tuesday. We're relaunching before a Tuesday, but listen, it's a new season. We're back with our podcast, excited to bring you tips and different things, different topics each week that deal with Christian music and what we do with our ministries. You all be blessed. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the Charles Novell School of Music podcast, The Best Day Yet. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under the name the Charles Novell School of Music. And for more information on CNS and our upcoming events, like our online school, our weekend regional sessions, our creative coaching, and our pastor's retreat, you can visit us at our website at www.cnsmusic.com. As you've listened to this episode, we hope that you've gained some information that you can apply to your music and to your ministry to make today the best day yet.